I just want to be clear as to who voted in favor and against. Can we count it by tellers? May I move, Madam Speaker?
Session suspended. Please proceed, Honorable Leila, Delima.
Thank you. I propose an amendment to the budget of the Office of the President, of the Vice President. I said, sorry po. So icebreaker muna. Again, I propose an amendment to the budget of the Office of the Vice President in the form of a reduction from 889.24 million to its 2025 level of 733.2 million, representing a reduction of 156 million or 17.5%. This is found in House Gab Volume 1A, page 2, line 19. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, may I briefly explain my proposed amendment? Every peso in this budget is the people's money. And when we demand accountability, we do so not out of hostility, but out of duty. Duty to the Constitution, duty to the people, and duty to the truth. Let me then again put this on record. VP Sara Duterte's repeated refusal to face this chamber is an insult. It spits on the duty of accountability. While she clings to millions in public funds, she refuses to explain. This is arrogance. Para tayong mga magulang na tinatabig at sinisigawan ng anak na tumatangging magpaliwanag kung saan napunta ang baon. Kahangalan ang magsabi na aksidente lamang ito o resulta ng pagkakamali. Malinaw na pangmamaliit ito sa Kongreso at sa taong bayan. Sa madaling salita po, paulit-ulit na tayong binabastos ng Vice Presidente. Congress holds the purse, and when a child squanders the family's money without answers, the remedy is clear. Bawasan ng baon hanggang matuto. Let me be clear. This reduction is discipline, not demolition. Malayo ito sa ginawa ng kanyang ama na ginamit ang budget para pahirapan ang Commission on Human Rights, a constitutional body created to defend the powerless. What we do here is different. We call out entitlement. We confront arrogance. We demand respect. Public money is not a toy. Hindi ito pabuya na pinamimigay sa mga imbentong tao na may imbentong pangalan sa mga imbentong project. It is a trust. And until the Vice President learns respect, this House must act as the parent that disciplines a brat. Alam ko po that this move will generate varied reactions. It might even be exploited by certain camps to elicit sympathy for VP Sara. Diyan naman sila magaling, kadramahan. Pero hindi pwedeng mangibabaw ang drama sa kung ano ang tama, sa kung ano ang makatwiran, at sa kung ano ang nararapat sa pagtatanggol sa dignidad ng institusyong ito at ng proseso ng pambansang budget. So, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, I respectfully but firmly propose the reduction of the budget of the Office of the President, Vice President, from 889.24 million to its 2025 level of 733.2 million. I so move. Maraming salamat po.
Madam
What
Speaker.
does the sponsor say?
Speaker, the committee accepts the proposed amendment subject to the following. First, we want to protect the interests of the personnel within the office of the Vice President. So given that the current proposal of the office of the Vice President reflects the salary increases of the said personnel, in compliance with the salary standardization law, we will ensure that the personal services will reflect that for the benefit of the employees of the Office of the Vice President. And second, we will also ensure that the final budget of the Office of the Vice President will be sufficient for the office to be able to perform its mandate. Sisiguraduhin po natin na hindi po maapektuhan ang pagganap ng Office of the Vice President sa tungkulin ng opisina sa kanilang budget para sa taong 2026.
Salamat po. Hindi naman talaga po maapektuhan. Kasi,
Majority Leader, what does the House say?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Madam Speaker, I move to accept the proposed amendment.
There's a motion to approve the proposed amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker,
Majority Leader.
I move to recognize the Honorable Unang.
The Honorable Sid
This
Ungab
is
recognized.
Madam Speaker, thank you, Mr. Majority Leader. Thank you to the sponsoring chairman. This is an objection at the same time since the chair has ruled an appeal to the decision of the chair.
Majority Leader.
Not to decrease further the budget of the Office of the Vice President. Sobra na ang laki ng ibinaba ng budget ng opisina ng Office of the Vice President. Despite the drastic reductions for
Madam Speaker,
Majority Leader.
may we request that the Honorable Unang stick to the motion to appeal the ruling of the sponsor rather than have an explanation.
Yes, Madam Speaker. The budget of the OVP has been deducted 2 times already in 2024 and 2025, and another reduction in 2026 with really, I would say, cripple the office. Only 2/3 of the original budget has been left. So I would like to appeal the decision of the chair. Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being an appeal, Madam Speaker, there is an appeal to the ruling of the chair to reject the proposed amendment. I now move to divide the House. For the information of the body, an aye vote sustains the appeal and the nay vote defeats it. The majority kindly solicits a nay vote.
All those in favor to the appeal say aye. All those against say nay. The nays have it. The appeal is lost. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, moving on, I move that we recognize the Honorable Antonio Tinio for his individual amendment.
The Honorable Antonio L. Tinio from the ACT Teachers Party is recognized for his individual amendment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am one with the motion of the Honorable Jokno in moving for the total removal of the unprogrammed appropriations. However, since that motion has been lost, then I would like to propose some amendments to the special provisions in the unprogrammed appropriations. The first being to special provision number 1, availment of unprogrammed appropriations. I move that the language on release of funds be reverted to its original wording. Now, in the current wording, Madam Speaker, it says here, release of funds shall be subject to the submission of a special budget request and other relevant budgetary requirements in accordance with applicable laws. However, in earlier wordings of this provision, going back very many years, the wording is as follows. Release of funds shall be subject to the submission of a special budget pursuant to Section 35, Chapter 5, Book 6 of Executive Order Number 292, Series of 1987, and the following, and so on. That's the important amendment that I would like to propose. And now let me explain my proposed amendment. My proposal is to revert to the original language, which specifically refers to Section 35 of Book 6 of the Administrative Code. Because this is the specific law on availment of lump sum funds. And very clearly, unprogrammed appropriations fall under unprogrammed appropriations. And what is more important is that Section 35 specifically provides that any availment of lump sum funds requires the submission of a special budget, not a special budget request, which is what is mentioned in the provision, a special budget to be approved by the President. So, napakalinaw po sa batas na gumagabay sa mga lump sum funds, kailangan may approval ng Presidente. Why is that important? Because that serves as a safeguard against abuse of these lump sum funds. At ang nangyari po nga ngayon, with the flood control issue, yung unprogrammed appropriations ay inabuso. No, napakalaki ng mga bagong proyekto na inaprubahan dito. So therefore, I move, Madam Speaker, that we revert to the language, and let me read again, that the special provision now read, release of funds shall be subject to the submission of a special budget pursuant to Section 35, Chapter 5, Book 6 of EO 292, Series of 1987.
What does the
That is my
sponsor
motion.
say?
Madam Speaker, with due respect to our honorable colleague, the honorable Tinio, this is something that I've already addressed during the debates on the lump sum funds. So the current special provision, special provision 1, as mentioned by the honorable Tinio, is a correction of the special provisions that were there in previous General Appropriations Acts. The reason why the reference to Section 35 was removed was because there was some inaccuracy in terms of referencing Section 35 in the first place. Because there is also jurisprudence with regard to this, and I believe I have shared the same with our distinguished colleague during the deliberations. The jurisprudence clearly states that the prevailing document in relation to the availment of unprogrammed appropriations would be the special budget request. And for that reason, in the current special provision as contained in the second reading version of the General Appropriations Bill, we retained that correction. So we removed any reference to Section 35. And with that, Madam Speaker, the committee respectfully rejects the amendment proposed by our distinguished colleague.
What does the House say?
Madam Speaker, we join the sponsor in rejecting the said amendment.
Madam Speaker, I object.
Majority Leader?
Madam Speaker, there is a motion to reject the proposed amendment which was objected by the Honorable Tinio. I now move to divide the House. For the information of the body, an aye vote sustains the motion to reject the amendment and a nay vote defeats it. The majority solicits an aye vote.
Thank you. Still on the special provisions on unprogrammed appropriations, since the unprogrammed appropriations have been retained. This has to do with special provision number 9 of the unprogrammed appropriations, amounts under the unprogrammed appropriations. The DBM is hereby authorized to approve the following: use of appropriations within the authorized purposes, and B, use of appropriations under the purposes of the unprogrammed appropriations, except the budgetary support to GOCCs and the support to foreign assisted projects, to cover deficiencies in the amounts authorized in any of the purposes under the unprogrammed appropriations. Madam Speaker, this is a insidious and very dangerous provision. It empowers the DBM to take any amount in the unprogrammed, for any purpose in the unprogrammed appropriations, and enables the DBM to augment this amount with any other of the amounts authorized in unprogrammed appropriations. Ibig po sabihin, sa simpleng salita, binibigyan ng DBM ng kapangyarihan na i-realign ang halos buong amount ng unprogrammed appropriations para sa anumang purpose. No? So, kaya po, nagiging only na discretionary fund ang unprogrammed appropriations dito. Kung sinabi po ng Kongreso na it authorizes, say, 100 billion for a specific purpose, no? Let's say, a pension and gratuity, 100 billion, pero pwede pong dagdagan pa ng kahit magkano ng DBM for as long as it falls within the total amount of the unprogrammed appropriation. So dapat po tanggalin ito, pambihirang kapangyarihan at discretion ang binibigay dito at lalo pa at tinatanggal po nung ni-reject na proposal ko kanina, tinatanggal na po yung final check and balance na dapat presidente ang accountable sa unprogrammed appropriations, dapat tanggalin na rin po ang kapangyarihang ito na binibigay sa DBM. Therefore, I propose that number 9 be deleted. The special provision number 9 be deleted.
What does the sponsor say?
Madam Speaker, in response to the proposed amendment,